theater at the Rio Hotel in Las Vegas, here's our host, Allison Hannigan.
Where magicians from all over the world choose one trick from their arsenal and take a shot at fooling Penn and Teller. If they have the silver bullet, they win a slot performing in Penn and Teller's hit show. Now let's bring out our big guns, Penn and Teller! You ready, guys?
Sure am.
Let's meet our first potential fooler.
The kind of magic I do is called stage manipulation. Cards and balls and coins and everything, and you make them appear without any fakery or whatever. It's my hand against the speed of your eyes. My dad was a coach, and so I have this champion spirit that came from him. So when I got the word for Penn and Teller, then it became battle mode. I invented the illusion that I'm preparing for this event. It's completely original. I'm in it to win it. That's it. Penn and Teller, I'm coming after you. I'm gonna fool you.
Prepare to be amazed by the classic magic of Stuart McDonald. Do you think you can pull a fool's trophy behind the mirror?
I don't know. That's pretty difficult, but I've been working hard on it for quite a while.
I heard that you set up a camera and you recorded yourself doing this.
Yes.
For like hours and hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, so I filmed the act 92 times in the past 30 days from every conceivable angle in the hopes of doing it 100 times, and each time I wanted to improve one thing. And so I'm not quite at 100%, you know, because I want to do one change that equaled 1%. So
92,
I'm only 92% is pretty good. It's still an A.
Still an A.
Yeah, right.
That's amazing. So what's more important when you do magic? Is it the trick or the tale?
It's the theater. All I do is I chase down the story, and chasing down this character has been a transition over time, and it's so fun when you're developing something and telling a story, because telling a story silently is the hardest thing in the world to do, especially with magic.
Well, let's see if Penn and Teller liked your story.
Yeah, it's just like the Oscars.
Penn, Teller.
Hi, guys.
It's so nice to see the plot of a show where greediness is rewarded.
Right. Yeah.
So often we have the miser who's trying to get more and more and more, and somehow he's horribly punished with a monkey's paw type thing. This, your character in this wants more money, gets more money.
Yeah.
That's the kind of plot I like to see. Yeah, we were following right along. You know, we saw a few moves here and there, figured out a few things, and as we were talking, we were trying to figure out this and that. Where'd the first hat come from? Where do you load the skull from? And where'd it go there? And what could be compressible? What could be hidden? What could be done here and there? And then Teller just turned to me and gave me, I think, the crux of the whole thing. When he turned to me and said, "Boy, I should have watched closer." We got so carried away by the plot that we missed a really important element of this that would have given the whole thing away. I don't know what that element is, so you fooled us.
Thank you so much. It's amazing. Thank you so much.
That's one fooler already, and we have more magicians on the way. Can lightning strike twice tonight? Come back and find out. Abracadabra, and we're back. If you think that was magical, you should meet this next guy.
I'm Kyle Littleton, and I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. I used to weigh 350 pounds, so I've since lost 150 pounds. Losing weight has definitely been a major confidence booster, feeling way more comfortable to get up on stage, and it's been tremendous. Growing up, people would compare me to Paul Blart Mall Cop. We both have online dating accounts that might as well be inactive, and we both believe peanut butter fills the cracks to a broken heart. Movies and movie theaters were a great way for me to escape the pressures of just growing up. You know, you're filled with so many questions, and movies were a great way to escape. The trick I have prepared shows my love of movies, so I'm very excited about that.
Our next magician just turned 21, and now he's in Vegas. What could possibly go wrong? Give it up for Kyle Littleton.
Thank you all so much. Thank you. You know, they say it takes a lot of confidence to get out here on this stage, but I was sheltered and homeschooled, raised by my overly Baptist mother. Those are not the ingredients of a man of great confidence, but instead the next Norman Bates. See, being homeschooled, one of the few ways I knew how to relate to people was through movies. In fact, I believe you can tell a lot about a person by the kind of movies they do and do not enjoy. So with that being said, there's someone here who I am very excited to meet and get to know. Please welcome to the stage, Ralphie May.
Hey, buddy. Hey, Paul. Hi, guys.
the biggest magic trick they pulled all night. The only way they fooled you is having me show up without y'all seeing me the whole day. It's incredible. Ta-da.
Ta-da! Well, great. Ralphie, I think it's important to note for everyone here that we haven't set anything up. We haven't even met before, correct?
No.
Great. Very exciting. So with that being said, let's get into this, okay?
Do it.
Great. So I brought with me some movie titles here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go through them and just kind of read them off to you. And as I do that, I just want you to give me a yes or no answer as to whether or not it's a movie you enjoy.
Okay.
Now, if you haven't seen it, that's just fine. We'll just count it as a no. That way you're not being judged on anything you haven't seen.
Okay.
If you say yes to a movie, we're going to set it here. If you say no to a movie, we're going to set it over here, all right?
Okay.
Now, the first film we're going to use as an example. So it's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Now, maybe this is a movie Penn and Teller would say yes to because it's a film all about magic. But maybe it's a movie I would say no to because I was raised Baptist. Therefore, I could go to hell just for thinking of watching this movie. Anyways, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, yes or no, Ralphie?
Yes.
Yes. So it'll go right over here in the yes section, okay?
Okay.
Now, next is American Pie. Maybe this is a movie Allison would say yes to because it's one of the movies that started her career. Maybe it's a movie I would say no to due to the fact the themes of this movie have nothing to do with my life, especially after having to promise my parents I'd stay pure till marriage, a promise I have kept with very minimal effort.
Yeah?
Yeah. So with that being said, Ralphie, we're interested in you. American Pie, yes or no?
Man, anything with pie, I'm all in. Okay? Anything with pie. Right on.
Definitely.
That is a great movie, yes.
Great, we're in agreement. Plus, she's standing right there, so it works out great.
She's amazing.
Yes, so we're gonna put this here. All right, next we have Fast and Furious 7. Yes or no?
No.
No. Great. You know what? This is so much fun. Why don't we bring Allison over? Give Allison a big round of applause. Thank you so much for helping, Allison. So next we have La La Land. Yes or no?
I didn't see it.
Oh, so we'll count it as a no. That's okay.
All right.
All right, next we have Star Wars.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Appropriately following Star Wars, The 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Oh, well, it's a really good movie, but yeah, but I wouldn't watch it with my kids, and I
so,
only watch
no?
kid movies, so I have to say no.
Okay, that was really long-winded, but we're with
I
you.
know.
Great. Next, A Few Good Men. Yes or no, Ralphie?
Truth. You can't handle the truth.
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
it.
Great.
I love it.
Moving on. Yes, all right, Deadpool, Allison.
I only watch kid movies.
Oh, well, this is going to be very fun. Great. Silence of the Lambs.
If I say no, do I get the hose again?
No.
Okay, then I'm gonna go yes.
Great. Jaws.
I actually have never seen Jaws.
Wow, there's a lot of... Okay, great. No Jaws. Remember, Ralphie, unlike my mother, the audience is not judging you by your answers.
Okay.
50 Shades of Grey.
I'm not into that. I just like chicks. I don't want to hit them or nothing.
The Martian, a movie where Matt Damon's character could definitely relate to the loneliness of a homeschooler.
Well, I love Matt Damon, so sure.
Sure, definite yes. The Wolf of Wall Street, Ralphie.
Oh, that was fantastic. It's what we learned all about Quaaludes. Okay, yeah, we're going with that one.
Yeah. Sausage Party, Allison. I feel like I know where you're going with this, but your choice.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, great. It's a no. That's fine. We're all with you. Frozen, Ralphie.
No. I got kids. I've seen that movie 1,000 times. No, no, no. No.
Last but not least, we have Psycho, a film which, whether or not you enjoyed, you have to admit, it was great to see Hollywood finally recognize guys with mommy issues.
Ugh.
Allison, yes or no?
I mean, it's Hitchcock. You've got to say yes.
Yes, yes. This is so exciting. I'm ecstatic right now. I'll prove to you why. See, this is the pile of all the movies you said yes to. This is the pile of all the movies you said no to. In fact, if we look, Allison, I'll show you. This is a movie you said no to, Frozen. See, the big difference. Frozen, we have Sausage Party, 50 Shades of Grey, Jaws, even Deadpool is a movie you said no to. But if we look, not only did you say no to this movie, Allison, but I also said no. See, not only did you say no to the 40-Year-Old Virgin, Allison, but we also said no. In fact, La La Land, which you said no, even Fast and the Furious, which you said no, I said no to. Now, if we look over here, these are all the movies you said yes to. And just like with the nose, you can see every movie. The Wolf of Wall Street, you said yes. The Martian, you said yes. The Silence of the Lambs. In fact, if we were to speed this up, you can see every movie you said yes to, I said yes. Every movie you said no to, I said no, proving we were meant for each other. Give him a big hand.
everybody.
So did you invent this trick?
Yes, I came up with this trick after I was driving with my cousin, and I kind of had the idea for the trick, and I said, you gotta take me home. So we canceled all plans, and she drove me home, and I realized that if I ever get a wife, I should never do that to her. But then I also remembered I lived in South Carolina, so dating your cousin really isn't out of the question. What I'm basically saying is I find, like love, you can find inspiration anywhere.
And do you have a girlfriend?
Oh, I do not have a girlfriend. And when you're my age, everyone kind of pressures you into, when are you getting married? And to me, marriage is a lot like the Hunger Games. You know, like people, when you say you're going in the Hunger Games, everyone's rooting for you, but deep down, they know you're not going to make it. So.
All right. Well, this might be a lot like talking to your mother. Let's talk to Penn and Teller. All right.
Well, you've just done everything to please us, haven't you? A little bit of blasphemy made us so happy. You've also done something which is to take a card trick, a wonderful card trick, and turn it into something else. Turn it into something that ties in with your homeschooling, love of movies, all of that. Also, it was pretty wonderful to see. I mean, Ralphie May is as much of a pro as you're going to get. And it was wonderful to see you out there really comfortable at 21 years old, kind of your first time out, doing wonderful interplay with Ralphie. I thought that was really good, and with Allison too. But I mean, it was just wonderful to see. We think we have a slight idea how you might have done the card trick, but we thought that the whole act was out of this world.
Oh,
just fabulous, wonderful.
Oh, fantastic, thank you.
What does that mean?
That means, much like my mom, I can't fool them.
All right. Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure. All right, Claire Littleton. We are just getting warmed up. More magicians on deck, including Penn and Teller themselves, when we come back. Magician is not to be messed with, not only because of his magic skills, but he is also a former Marine. Check him out.
My name is Lion Flood. I grew up a little country boy. People think I'm kidding when I say this. I did not know about magic. I was more worried about having food on the table. I learned how to street hustle to get money. You only had a few options to get out of town. You either got a scholarship to some school or military was pretty much the only other option. Uncle Sam signed me up and let's go. I would say the Marines gave me a purpose in life. It really kind of refined who I was as a man. I got injured doing training exercises. I was very depressed. I had to learn to re-walk. It was one day I saw a magic video online. It changed everything for me. It was like the first time I smiled in months. From that point forth, I just started dedicating myself to learning a little bit more of this craft. I would love to have my own show with my marquee one day so people could say, hey, where you going? Hey, we're going to go see Lion. What, they have a zoo here? No, 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 Lion the Magician.
Put your hands together for Lion Flood.
Thank you. Before I begin, I want to take just a quick moment and give a heartfelt thank you to both of you for allowing a young kid from the hood an opportunity to live out his dreams.
Thank you.
So I wanted to take a chance to invite both of you to come along on this journey with me. So Penn, Teller, come. Thank you. Teller, thank you. You as well. Thank you. Thank you. Gentlemen, let's make a memory, shall we? I wanted to use something that I'm very familiar with, a deck of cards. To most people, it just is what it is. To me, it's 52 opportunities to make a memory. What I'm going to do is start off with you, Teller. I'm going to ask you to find us a starting point just by cutting the cards and completing that cut. Fair enough, Penn?
Seems fair to me.
Fair enough. Perfect. Now, what I'm going to do in a second is ask you to deal down the cards into one pile and stop whenever you choose to. Go ahead and do so now. while he's doing that, Penn, you and I, we're going to communicate more verbally.
Okay.
And then Teller, we're going to communicate more telepathically. Okay, perfect. Now, I'm going to give you a choice, and I normally don't do this, but since I like the both of you,
thank you.
I'm going to give you a choice. You can either take some cards back, add some more cards down, or stay right where you're at. Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, so now, this will be our discard pile. In a second, what I'm going to do is ask you to show yourself that card and only Penn. Don't let anyone else see what that is. Wait till I turn around, and then just slide it over to him. Penn, once you get that card into your memory, go ahead and let me know. You've got it memorized?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Teller, what I'd like you to do is put that card back inside the deck, any place that you choose. Once you've done that, gather all of the cards back up and place them inside of the box. Let me know once it's safe to turn around so I will not see what the card is.
I shall.
Good?
The deck is back in the box.
Perfect. I can turn around? All right,
Yep.
thank you. Now, gentlemen, I want to do something that I probably won't get a chance to do later, so I figured let's go ahead and do it right now. Okay. I want to take a picture of you because my mom would absolutely kill me if I didn't come home with a souvenir. So, Teller, chest out. Perfect, chest out. Okay, we'll go here. Penn, please come over and join him as well. And Allison, please come over as well. You're part of this family as well. All right. Now, on the count of 3, I want you guys to say fool us. 1, 2, 3.
Fool us.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so very much. Allison, thank you so very much, ma'am. Penn, you can have a seat back down there. Thank you. Now, gentlemen, I want to recap what's happened from our memories so far. I invited you both up. We started on a journey. Teller, I gave you an opportunity to choose where we started at by cutting the cards. You did so. You started dealing cards down into one pile. I did something I normally didn't do. I gave them a choice. Keep going, stop, or add a few more cards. And I think you added one more card. I'm not sure. Added one more card. So at this point, the two of you are the only ones who know what that card is. Yes?
That's what we'd like to believe.
Okay. So inside of here is my surprise. I know that because I have a bad memory, so I try to write it down a few times. And I've written it down right here. Surprise. Kind of helps me remember things. Penn, would you hold on to that and make sure that the envelope is completely sealed?
Yes, it is.
Yes. I tell you what, for the first time, Penn, why don't you go ahead and tell everyone the card that you two are merely thinking of at this moment?
6 of clubs.
The 6 of clubs. Do me a favor, sir. Would you rip that envelope open, reach inside there, and share with everyone our memory? Ladies and gentlemen, it is a picture of Penn, Teller, Allison, and their 6 of clubs. Thank you so much.
This is so nice to meet you.
You as well.
How did you get started?
Oh, well, it was this one time at Magic Camp. Actually, when I started learning about magic, I learned that one of the first American magicians was actually an African-American magician. Not a lot of people know about that, and it really just like drove me to study more and keep it going.
Oh, that's fantastic. And where do you like performing the most?
Well, when I first came to Vegas, I started out in the streets. I was out on the streets busking and doing card tricks and working for tips and things like that. And I've just progressed and gotten further along in my career. So every once in a while, I like to go back to the streets just so I can remember, where I came from.
Yeah, well, look at you now.
Hey!
Come on. Yeah. Oh, it looks like they're ready. Let's see what they say. Or at least the big guy says.
Boy, there's a lot to this trick, and it's a good trick. It's a really, really good trick. And we don't know that we got it. We don't know. We're up in the air a little bit. We think Teller did have a free choice on that card. If you found a way that Teller didn't, have a free choice on that card, and only you know in your heart, then you got us. But we think that there's a little bit of mentalism involved in this act, and that you're able to see things that mere mortals can't. That simple Phoenix deck of cards, you can see things in and on that deck of cards that others can't see and know. And your camera, which looks like a regular old camera, is also all sorts of magical. Do you know what I'm talking about here? Do you have some sort of idea?
I do have an idea, and
maybe it's time for Teller to, you want to whisper this to him?
okay.
And by the way, if we're wrong, if Teller did not have a free choice of those first cards, and this isn't right, the thing's going to come down behind you. So don't let it hit you in the bald head, okay? Right. Okay? Because that trophy's coming down.
Can I whisper something to you?
Watch Teller's face. This will tell you everything. Right now, Teller's reaction. Uh-oh. Bad sign for Lion. Okay, after all the chitter-chatter with the guy who supposedly doesn't talk, the suspense is killing me. It all comes down to you. Only one person knows, Lion. You got to tell us. Did you fool us?
No, I didn't fool you.
But it was a great act, man. Great act.
To do. More magicians to bust and a trick of their own to perform. More Fool Us when we return. Welcome back to Fool Us. We've had one fooler so far, and we may have another right now. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Fred.
And I'm Bobby.
I started working on cruise ships, so I travel the world.
One day I just decided I'm gonna go sing on a cruise ship, where I ended up meeting Fred.
She was reluctant to be what she calls the girl in the box.
Yeah. I said, I'll do it for a short period of time. 8 years ago.
How's that working out?
Yeah.
It turns out I do not actually have an assistant. It's more like a hostile witness.
I said, if I'm gonna be in the show, I want it to reflect the fact that I don't really want to be in the show to come out.
To be part of the show.
And it can be funny. And so that's what we've done.
We want to put on a good act. We want to do something that people can relate to, you know, all of the married people out there.
So it's sort of like live on stage marriage therapy.
Yes, there's that.
Please welcome the Lone Star State's very own Fred Becker and Bobby.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bobby.
I'm Fred.
And together we are...
Bobby and Fred. I knew that one.
Together, we're the Beckers.
Together, we're the Beckers. Yeah. And tonight we want to perform some magic for you. An illusion, actually, in the classic...
Hang on just a second. Yeah, you know, all too often you see a magician and they put their assistant in a box of some sort, perhaps spin it around a little bit, and then they make these magical gestures. You know, what is that? What?
It's just what we do.
Well, the assistant does all the hard work behind the scenes, and in the end, the magician gets all the credit.
Still not seeing a problem here.
I think tonight's the night all that needs to change.
Penn, I actually now understand the wisdom of having a silent partner.
All right, fine. Tell him about our trick.
I'll pay for that. Okay, look, when I was a kid learning magic, I became fascinated with the stories of Houdini, who could apparently pass one solid right through another. And I thought at the time, what would that be like? What would it look like to actually have that kind of power? So tonight, I'll give it a try. We will try and pass one solid object right through another solid object.
And while he's doing that, I'll be performing random magical gestures.
Bet she will. Let me call your attention to this piece of metal. It is roughly 3 feet by 4 feet, made of solid steel, 100% gluten-free.
And I also have this magical handkerchief, which Fred will attempt to pass through the steel plate. And in order to ensure that it is the same handkerchief that we're using in our presentation, I'm going to ask Penn and Teller to autograph it, please. And I'll come back and get that for you in just a moment. This way, if Fred fails, then I have something I can sell on eBay.
Young lady here, would you do me the honors? Take that hammer there, that mallet, and just give that a good smack there on the... Whoa, easy there. Like the mighty Thor. Right here. Just make sure it's solid. You don't have to hit it hard. Just... Thank you so much. Solid? Yeah? All right. Now would be good time for some very dramatic music.
How long have you been working together?
We've been together for 10 years. We've been married for 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And if you're ever in a fight, do you just leave them in the box?
Oh, that'd be great, except it's always me that's in the box.
Well, I like that this was the reverse.
Switch it up a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we figured, you know, if we're going to do this together, then let's add a little bit of my personality and make it really a joint effort.
Yeah, that's nice. All right, well, speaking of great pairs, let's go to this pair.
All right.
Penn, Teller.
Yeah, well, we're thinking about this. I got to tell you, automatically you worm your way into our black little hearts when you have the magician in the box doing the work. When there's that gender reversal in magic, we're always, always happy. About time for that. We'd like you making the gestures outside the box while he did the work, and he did do a lot of work. You know, the long rectangle looks great. You know, a long rectangle is deceptive to human beings. That's very, very helpful for us. But you want to look at the whole routine, not just the trick. You know, you had your beginning and your ending, and the end pieces on this are very, very important. The opening bubbly pattern you did at the top, those end pieces were really, really important to the trick. We love the whole routine. It's really beautiful. It's also an illusion that's not seen often at all. Right. And that's really nice because we see a lot of them. And it's nice to see one that's very, very different. We don't think you fooled us, but we love the routine.
I appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much. It's been an honor to be here.
Did we sneak in enough there?
I think...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we definitely got enough, yeah.
It wasn't even sneaky. I got it right away.
Okay, so you're clear that they know how you did the trick.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for entertaining us. Fred Becker and Bobby.
Wonderful laugh. Great. Fabulous. Thank you.
For our next trick, we'll keep turning ordinary ordinary TV into extraordinary TV with more Fool Us. Stick around. To fool them, they made a name for themselves, fooling audiences around the world. Here to entertain and befuddle us, Penn and Teller.
I'm going to tell you how every magician tonight and every magician ever fooled you. That was by lying, cheating, swindling, and stealing. Those are the techniques that are used, and those techniques are all immoral unless they are done with consent. And as soon as you turned on your TV to see a show called Fool Us, full of magic tricks, you gave us your consent. But the moment anyone does those tricks out in the real world, even in a press conference, even on TV where you're not claiming to do magic tricks, then it is immoral. And magicians are not the only ones that do this. These same techniques are used by criminals and the government. Probably the greatest magician of all time is a man by the name of Robert Houdin. He was a French magician in the 19th century. He worked at the Magic Theater in Paris, and he was completely moral for his entire career. But then he retired. And in 1856, Napoleon came to him and asked him to be immoral, asked him to do his magic tricks for people without their consent. At that time, France had colonized Algeria, and the Algerians were starting an uprising being led by the medicine men. And Napoleon asked him if he could go down to Algeria and use tricks to show that French magic was more powerful than Algerian magic. Here's kind of the trick he did. And a couple Algerian warriors, second row, sir. How about you right up here? And how about you in third row, sir? Glasses right up here. See on either side right here. Robert Houdin did a thing from his theater show called the light heavy box. Just stand on that side there. Stand on this side right here. Now, it was a very simple trick. Robert Houdin just said, well, I can lift this box easily by myself, just like this. Then he said to the Algerian warriors, you guys are strong, and there's two of you. You can lift that box really easy. Don't lift too high. Lift it right about there. Right about there. Yeah, I put it right back down. It's a pretty light box, isn't it? Yeah. Pretty easy to lift. When he did this in his magic act, he did it as a comedy routine. But in Algeria, at this point, he said, Maintenant, vous êtes plus faible qu'une femme, which means you are now weak as women, which was insulting to Algerians in 1856 and is offensive to everybody in 2017. Now they're weak as women. He told them to try to lift the box again. Try to lift it again. No, guys, don't play along with me. Really lift it to about here. No, lift it. You're two guys, man. Lift it to about here. Lift about here, right about here. Right about here is all you got to do. Just about here. And then he said, but I am a French magician. I'm strong. I can lift it just like this. And then he said, you know, you guys, you're no longer weak as women. You can lift it easily right about to here. Put it right back down. That's nice and light and easy, isn't it? Then he said, Maintenant, vous êtes plus faible qu'une femme. You're now weak as women. Try to lift it again. No, guys, lift it. Lift it, guys, lift it. But you're no longer weak as women. Lift it now, right about to here. Really easy. And then he said, plus faible qu'une femme, you're weak as women. Try to lift it right about to here. No, really try to lift it. Work together. Work together, gentlemen. Work together. And then he said, you're no longer weak as women. Lift it right about here. Right about here, very easy. And then he said, plus faible qu'une femme. Lift it again. Really try this time, guys. Really try. Give it one last go. Let's try. There you go. Thank you so much. You can go back to your seats. And by the way, you're no longer weak as women. You're now weak as Frenchmen. Now, some will look at history and tell you that Robert Houdin helped stop a war. Others will tell you that he continued colonialism. But no matter what he did it immorally. He did magic without consent. I'm going to tell you how he did it, too. He did it with a smaller box and just one Algerian warrior. And he used electromagnets in a steel stage. But if we were asked to do this in the 21st century, with your consent, we would do it for France like this.